Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion. I am actually here with several special guests today. First of all, joined by Negative Root.
Hello.
Awesome. And Gepwin.
Hello.
And ACryInShame.
Hello, everyone.
And yeah, so we're going to discuss Friday Facts together. This may become a regular thing, just me and some other guests, depending who's around. But yeah, so this one, unfortunately, we were talking earlier for our first group session. This actually happens to be one of the most, I would say, non-eventful or boring Friday Facts we've had in a while. But yeah, so they just kind of go back and discuss what's happened in 2016, some stuff about the gray market and scams, and then a lovely new feature down at the bottom, which we'll cover in a few minutes. But yeah, I guess we can start, guys, with just what happened in 2016. I mean, there's not much point in me saying what they said. I mean, because really they just pretty much review what happened. 85% of all Factorio sales happened within the last 12 months via the Steam release. And
But we knew that already. We knew that Factorio had exploded. The fact that they're nearly at 1 million, like I'm not really that kind of a mass genius. However, $1 million times $20.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm thinking too. It's like, damn.
Yeah, well, depends how much
awesome.
Steam actually gives them.
Yeah, well, the Steam obviously doesn't give them that great of a share. I think it's like 45% or something is what developers get. So they don't get that great of a share. But even still, that's
like $10. So that's
still $10 a copy, which, you know, they hit 1 million. That's the better part of $10 million. Yeah. Kovarex right now, Kovarex, Cube, and all those boys, they're millionaires. That much we can probably bet on. And,
although, actually, well, a little bit of just behind the scenes thing that I won't share. Well, I don't really know the details anyway, but what I've heard previously from a developer or two is that they actually do not pay themselves based on how the game does. Obviously,
so it's in the company.
Quite well off, but yeah, they pay themselves just based on how much work they do, how long they've been with the company, so on and so forth, not based on how well the game does.
Which is another good way of doing it, because then that guarantees the money doesn't just go into someone's pocket.
Disappear.
It goes into the company, which then they can use for further development. And
yes.
You know,
now we demand $10 million worth of development because we did math.
Well, I think we already have that, dude.
the other thing is that this just means that Factorio 2 would probably happen if they're determined and keen. You know, they're going to have Space Torio, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're going to have the cash to actually develop it, which is
definitely
something they wouldn't have otherwise. But pretty
exactly.
Cool.
I mean,
I spent a little time actually reading through it and kind of made a few notes on,
even
though
notes?
it wasn't a whole lot of that they went through. Yes, there are actually a few notes I put down.
Look at Mr. Prepared over here.
Yeah, look at him, making us look bad. He's the kid that rocked up to exams with notes while everyone else is rolling in and going, we'll just see what happens.
We'll see what happens. One of the things that they mentioned in the thing was that that with the fraud that they're dealing with, that every time a fraud happens, that they pretty much lose a full sale worth of money and fees and fines because of those frauds. And it was kind of an interesting idea, like a thought process, where it's like an indie developer has to deal with that kind of a thing. So when you see those like $5, $6, $7 games, and if they get hit with fraud, they're not just losing the worth of that game you ended up buying, but like double or triple that amount. So for indie developers that have those kind of games, that's a challenge they have to get over.
Yeah, and it's actually quite big in the indie scene where fraud is happening. Like it's widespread, and it's not like there's so many different ways these third-party websites get these keys, and it's just bad. And at the end of the day, it's consumers have got to choose to pay more money. That's what it comes down to. People have got to choose to pay the full retail price for games like Factorio and support the developers. Because if you buy them off like G2A and Green Man Gaming and all of those, the origin of those games, like the origin of those keys, is grey. You don't know where they've come from. You don't know if they've bought them from the developer in some sort of wholesale deal, Like, I know that some sites will buy, say, like 10,000 keys at a reduced price so that then they can on-sell them. Some of them, however, just buy them from these randoms who have defrauded people's credit cards or PayPals or whatever else. And there's also YouTubers going around who will ask a developer for, 4 or 5 copies or 10 copies of a game so that they can have one and they can sell 9 to these grey market resellers. So it's a pretty seedy underside to the indie market at the moment. And I'm not sure how much you guys run across it, but I've run across it a fair bit because I cover as many games as I can, and that involves contacting developers. And it's going to be interesting moving forward, and it's good to see that they've come up with a bit of a solution.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see them actually talking about it because,
definitely
knowing that it affects the developers, you just think like, oh, I lost the key, somebody got caught, but you don't think about like, well, now the developer is paying out of pocket for this thing. It's not like, they made 0. They actually had to pay for you trying to steal their game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which way, if you're going to steal the game. At least that's a 0.
Don't
seriously, that's true.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it from a grey website. So that's what we've come up here today. Either pay full price or just straight up steal it. Right? Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
Don't get it on discount.
Like we are not advocating pirating.
No.
But seriously, it's $20 for a game.
Yeah.
I don't know about
a game
you guys.
that you can easily get hundreds or thousands of hours.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I have paid more than this for lunch.
Yeah.
I understand the skepticism on a lot of these things, especially with the early access, but at the end of the day, you're going to say, like, I believe in the developer and where they're going with this.
Yeah, that's right.
And in the case of Factorio, it's already an amazing game, so you don't have to worry about it. But in early access in general, you're more saying, like, here's my idea that these guys are going to do a good job.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them money now for that.
Yeah,
kind of like Kickstarter.
Exactly. Yeah. You're buying the idea as opposed to the product. And that's like, I've been around since 8.9, so quite a while. It's a couple of years now. And I bought the game back then because I saw it and I believed in the idea. And that's... I suppose that's what you've got to realize is that when you're buying early access games, you're buying an idea, you're not buying the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of the fraud thing. I'm glad they addressed it. They do say down here they've addressed and pretty much fixed it with the Humble widget, and that they do actually list reputable Steam, GOG, and Humble Bundle, or Humble Store rather, are legit places. And as far as what's happened in 2016 and last year, that's the thing. They've done so much. I literally, I can't keep track. Like, was 0.12 released in the last year? What all did it add? 0.13 they said was the biggest update ever. I don't remember everything, but I know there was a lot.
Yeah, it was I remember doing the update video on that. It was like a 5-page list.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thankfully, I missed that.
Yeah.
But like coming back after missing 2 patches, so I played at the end of 0.12 and then coming back at the start of 0.14, it was kind of like, whoa. And all the things that have changed over the last 2 patches have been substantial, which, the momentum's still there for them, which is good. Some games slow down, but they haven't.
In fact, this almost seems like it's picking up. 0.15 is going to be the biggest they've ever done. The features are I can't even count them off the top of my head. What they're adding in this
$10 million does buy a lot of coding hamsters. So
yeah. Speaking of which, they do mention some new members that they added over the last. Most of these guys I actually don't recognize, so I guess there's more behind the scenes than I realized.
Where?
Yeah, they actually listed that right after it's
We welcome Hansa and Dennis, Jurek, Norbert, Mishka, and Jitka. I only recognize 2 of those names.
Ah, okay, yeah. Okay, I see.
So,
yeah, well, there's got to be 20 people working there now. Well, there was probably 20 people a year ago. They've been steadily.
And they have several contractors too.
Yeah.
They're definitely growing.
Seeding and he's been working for them for years now. Clonan moved in. There's.
About a year ago. Yeah.
There's quite the team that they've got going there, which is
I would have.
Good.
I would have applied as well if I didn't live in the U.S.
Well, our seating lives in the U.S.
Yeah, he just travels
to be
across.
fair, yeah, he's a he lives in the U.S.
Yeah, I would have applied if I had any skill set.
Yeah, me too. I know.
It's pretty close to the truth for me.
Do you want some Factorio videos made officially? That's what I would apply for.
Yeah, that's right. What do you guys think of this kill statistics?
Yeah, this down here at the bottom. This is a new feature.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't imagine when I would use it.
No, neither can I. It's cool. It's like
it's cool, but yeah,
it's like the circuit network.
I personally wouldn't touch it.
It's a circuit network. It's cool. We've got it.
Yeah.
Don't know what you'd use it for, but hey, it's cool nonetheless.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm sure there'll be a mod for this. I want something that lets you hook this into the circuit network.
Really? And what for?
Did he just cut out?
I think he
cut
just
out.
Oh no,
He's gone.
You lost him.
he probably unplugged his headphones again,
Oh dear.
or his mic. Well, we'll wait for him to come back. But yeah, I think what he was getting towards is having you hook it up to the circuit network and maybe like display a number or do something like
I
that,
think that would be actually kind of cool.
or trigger an event or something in your base.
It's like after you've killed so many biters, if something happens, it fires off a rocket or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
It seems weird though. If you're ever going to implement it in a factory, you always want the factory to react to an input rather than an output, if that makes sense. Like this is the result of something, whereas you'd always want your factory to run on the input of something. So, for example, bullets getting low.
The input is dead biters.
Yeah, but what does dead biters tell you about your factory? It doesn't tell you anything.
It tells me about how many biters I've killed.
How bloodthirsty you are.
Yeah.
How many of
There
those
is actually a
biters
mod.
you've killed?
There's a mod where, like, when you kill a biter, it actually drops materials that you can use to make things.
There's always a mod.
There's always a mod.
Pretty much.
There's always a mod. Dear me.
Yeah. So this is pretty cool. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's there. It's cool. I don't really know what I'd do with it, but it's there.
We got it.
We got it. If you ever want it, I'm sure
easy to read.
Yeah, I'm sure some crazy genius will make some mod that's amazing with it. I mean, some of these mods that are out here, it's just like, I don't even know how they thought of this stuff, but
still waiting for the API update for Null 15. Can't wait.
So, I mean, really, like I said, this is one of the more uneventful Friday Facts. It would have been cool if I was doing this, because I wasn't even doing this at that point, but if I was doing this and we would have gotten together for like just nuclear power and stuff, now that would have been a discussion.
Yeah, well, we've managed to fill up
1 hour later.
Discussion. Yeah, like we've managed to fill up 13 minutes of nothing, so...
Yeah, true.
I'm not sure how long the people want to sit through this kind of stuff. Anyway.
Yeah.
Shall we wrap it up here, gentlemen?
I think
Have
so.
we covered everything?
That is the entire Friday Facts. The only thing we didn't cover is some little thing about multiplayer and that they fixed previously, which covers the 2016 thing pretty much. So
yeah, when they rewrote the multiplayer and changed it to server side, which has been a brilliant change.
Yeah.
Yeah, although it's still multiplayer still has issues. Like the performance you can get in multiplayer is still far, far lower than single player.
Definitely, but that's because you're playing with people spread out across the world, and not everyone was born with equal internet either, especially those of us living in Australia.
Yeah, I mean,
moving right along.
You got
we won't talk about that because that just makes me mad.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude, you have really good internet last time I checked.
Yeah, I do now, but
yeah,
the country in general.
Speaking of internet, mine crapped out for a minute, so.
Oh no!
Welcome back.
See, here's a random fact,
Yes.
and we really need to wind this up. But do you know that Australia has, on average, slower internet than Slovakia?
Really?
That's it. I'm done.
Oh my
I'm
gosh!
Out. I'll see myself out. I'm done. See you later.
All right, see ya.
I'm sorry, these are the jokes. I don't get any better than this.
I'll just do wait.
Yeah.
So
I will.
Yeah, we should wrap it up. But I want to let Gepwin finish what he was saying. You said something about connecting this kill statistics to a circuit network.
Oh yeah. Well, they should do this for just all these statistics. If you could connect up this screen to a circuit network, then you could do things based on your overall, deaths or kills or whatever. And I'm sure someone will make a mod for it.
Yeah, like nuke yourself.
There's always a mod.
Such a useful tool.
Yeah, that's true. I should just have one. Like, if you could do that, just have exits the game for me after I've been hit by trains more than twice. That happened pretty quick. 5 minutes in, all right, game's over.
I'm just gonna make a train counter on the next server I'm in. It's like every time I get hit by a train, it's okay, +1.
I think we're all gonna need one of those.
Oh,
alrighty, let's do this. It's nearly 20 minutes.
All right, shoot. Okay, well, there you go, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments. I already have a guess, but anyway, thank you, you guys as well for joining. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can do it again next week.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hopefully, there will be more information next week.
So. Yeah, bigger Friday facts.
Oh yeah, there probably will.